Welcome to LWP Labs. Learn with projects. Today's topic, VPC, Subnet, NAT, Route-Table. Please like, share, and subscribe.
So here in this kind of training, generally in corporate training, what will happen? We'll get a lab. Like suppose if I'm giving this corporate training, I will get a lab and I will try to explain there. Here, you will not get a lab. You have to create your own lab, which is better, right? You will have to have your AWS account. Okay, we'll create our lab from scratch, and we'll do our projects from scratch, everything. So which we are using here in AWS. These projects, whatever we are going to cover, you can do in any platform. It is not only meant for AWS. You can do it in Azure, you can do it in AWS, you can do it in Google, Oracle, anywhere. So this is called infrastructure as a service. So what we are doing, we are learning some open source tools with that understanding of infrastructure as a service. So we will be building everything, the infrastructure from scratch. Okay, that will be our goal. So let me explain you all what we have done. This was the diagram which we were doing. So this was the project, the first project, which was creating a VPC we were doing. So let me do a quick recap of this project. The project was very simple. The project was that there is a company called xyz.com, and we are suppose Infosys, and all of you are freshers who joined, and I'm a mentor. I got this project. I'm managing this project, mentoring this, and mentoring you all to complete this project. Simple. This is our agenda. The whole course is divided like that. Okay, whole agenda is like this: that you will be fresher, new joiner, and I will be mentor. Now, this xyz.com came to Infosys asking that please help me migrate myself from on-premise to cloud. On-premise means home data center, where CapEx and OpEx is ours, who's xyz.com. So they are spending capital expense, operational expense, all these things. They are spending a lot of money in their home data center, and now they are asking us to migrate. Once I migrate it, we will move it to DevOps culture also. We'll implement a DevOps culture here. Okay, we will migrate an application, not a server. So this server may be a 2002 model. So this server will not be migrated. Inside the server, there is an application running. That application will be migrated. Okay. So now we are trying to achieve that only. How can we migrate something? First. Second, if we are trying to migrate to cloud, we should know cloud. So what is public cloud? AWS, Azure, Google, anything. In that public cloud, how will you create private cloud, which is VPC? Okay. Or in that public cloud, how will you create your account first? So all of you have to create your account, and then we will be creating this VPC. So for this VPC creation, we have to draw the VPC structure, the outline. So VPC is nothing but private cloud, private network. When we say cloud, think about a network, my own private network. This private network we will have to create, where I will keep lot of servers, and those servers will talk to each other. It is like your home, where there are multiple rooms. Okay, and then they will be they are interconnected, and we can go from one room to another room, and some rooms will be private rooms, some rooms will be public room. Okay, where somebody can come, anybody can come. Okay, but then some rooms are private room where only specified person can come. Okay, who can come? Whom we are allowing it. No one from outside can come. Okay, from public. If can I go outside? Yes, I can go outside. See, this is in your home. If you are keeping something in your wardrobe, suppose if you are keeping, I gave you 1 lakh rupees and you kept in your wardrobe. So you will not allow anybody outside to come inside. But then can you go outside? Yes, you can go outside. So in this servers, no, there will be application running. Application, the software application, web application, websites will be running. These websites will have some components, okay, which can be web server, application server. There are two things of middle tier, two parts of middle tier: web server, middle tier, web server and application server of a middle tier. So this client will talk to middle tier, and middle tier will talk to DB tier. Okay, maybe DB tier is this. This is database. So this kind of three-tier architectures are there. But then we will not allow client to directly talk to this particular server. It is not allowed. Okay. If this client needs to come here, he need to come to first outside network. This is public network, public subnet, any server, and then public will send traffic to this. That means if suppose somebody needs that 1 lakh rupees, he has to come to us, somebody home member, and then that home member will go inside and he'll take some money and will give him something like this. So we were trying to achieve that particular thing for our this project. So let us understand this. Fine. So all of you, let us resume the class which we were doing yesterday. I requested all of you to create VPC. Click on the VPC. This particular IP calculator, yesterday we have created the VPC. Now let's start the VPC creation, which we left, which it is half now, okay, which we have not completed fully. So what we have done till date, let me just draw. We thought that in our on-premise, if this is our, let me just draw on-premise once. We thought that in our on-premise, how many servers are there? 200 servers. Means how many IPs are there? 200 IPs. And this 200 IPs, 200 servers are present here. Now we are migrating this to cloud. This cloud, okay, here we will create our own VPC, okay, own VPC. In this VPC, I told that we will divide into 4 sections, right? I will divide this VPC into 4 sections. What are the names? Public subnet 1, public subnet 2, private subnet 1. Fine. So we have to divide this full network, complete network into sub network. Subnet means sub network. We have divided. The full network which we created was of this particular. How to calculate this full network? 10, 15, 0, 24. How many IPs are there total? This is my IP range from 0000 to 255, 255. This many IP range. In this there are some public IP, some private IP. What is the purpose of public IP? If I want to connect my device to internet, I need what? Internet. Means if I am here and you all are connecting to me and seeing this in Zoom, why you are able to see? Because I am connected to internet. So I will have one public IP. Can we check what is my public IP? What is my IP? If you type in Google, right? Okay, you will get it. This is your IP. Is this IP range between this? Just check 00255, right? If you see 146, that means this is there in that range. Clear? So this is my total IP range. Inside this, my one public IP and private IP will be there. So these are my private IPs. Okay, 192, 172, 10 series. Okay, this is what we discussed yesterday. And then I told each decimal will be your 8-bit, means octet. Each decimal we can convert into an octet. So how many bits we have for IP? 32 bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 into 8, 32. Okay, so 32 bits. Then I told that, okay, fine. Let us consider how many IPs we have in our on-premise. In our on-premise, I have how many IPs? 200 IPs. That 200 IPs I have to move to cloud. I have to create a network of 200 IPs. So for that reason, what we will do, we will try to take some private IP range first from this. Okay, and then I have to calculate this X. This will give me that range. So what do you mean by X? Total number of bit which is constant. So I told you that let us take very simple example. Okay, let us forget all this concept of so much network concept. We don't have to understand. We will understand very simple thing that, okay, how many IPs I require? 200. Okay, do I have an IP range? Yes, network team will give us. Now, how to calculate this X? Very simple. We will try to do 2 to the power 0, 1, 2, 3. Like this, we will still continue till the time we are not getting something which is, till the time we are not getting something which is 200, which is 200. So 2 to the power 8 will give me 256, which is more than 200. So now that is what we will stop here. Okay, now what we will do, we will subtract with 32 with this number 8. 32 minus 8, 24, and 24 is your x. Simple maths calculation. So if you are poor in network, if you do not want to understand, as a DevOps engineer, it is not expected that okay, you know, okay, network okay, in depth. No, it is not required. We are all jack of all trade. If you want to become master, this is not the right place. Means DevOps is not the right place. There are 2000 tools here. Every day you will learn some tool, you will forget some tool, you will learn and learn. Okay, this is what you have to do in DevOps. You have to complete the architectures. If you don't know something, your attitude matters a lot. Yeah, I don't know something, yes, I will actually learn that, no issues. Okay, the company requires that kind of mentality. Whenever you give that interview, they will ask you, okay, if suppose if there is a requirement like this, will you be able to manage? Yes, you will be able to do it. When you have learned 100 tools in this course, okay, you will be able to learn some other tools also which is coming in market, okay, by your own. So here, network, I need how many IPs? 200. Select one IP range. We need to calculate X. So 22222 minus it with the number. Okay. And this is your VPC range. This is what we actually told. Now we need to divide it this 200. We need to divide this 200 IP range, 200, 256, whatever we will get here. How many IPs we will get? 256. You cannot get exact number. Okay. Here you cannot get exact number. Okay. If suppose you are saying 200, no, you cannot get 200. It will be some range of 2 to the power value only. Okay, fine. In this subnet, you will divide into public subnet, which is AZ1, AZ2. Why we are doing this thing? Why we have to divide our full network into sub network, and why we have to have it in different availability zone? Okay, if this is in Mumbai East, high availability. So suppose if this is my customer, he is trying to access my website, which is xyz.com. I will keep like this. If my Mumbai East, suppose flood happened at Mumbai East, so this power supply will be blocked. So suppose this data center is not getting power supply for 1 month. And if you have only one server, and if this is down, then that's it, gone. Your architecture is very bad. Means your customer xyz.com, whoever is typing in web like in web browser, in the browser, whenever they type xyz.com, they will reach to this server, and the server is down, nothing will happen, and they will go to abc.com for purchasing something. Okay, the customer will say, "Arey, this website is best, I will go to abc.com." So all of your customer base will go to somewhere else, correct? For that reason, you need to create a high availability. This is called high availability. Suppose if this is down, this will be up. So we will create another server which is in Mumbai West. So Mumbai East, Mumbai West, who is investing here money? Who is investing money here in Mumbai East and Mumbai West? Are you going to invest money? No, AWS. So it's such a good architecture, right? Amazon is investing money here, and we are just using it. So Amazon will say, when I am giving you this particular environment where availability zones are there, locations, why are you not using it? You use it. So you will use this. So you will, what you will do, you will try to create two servers into different availability zone. How will you be able to manage that? With the help of subnet. Okay, one network can be divided into, or can be divided across availability zone with the help of subnet. Okay, subnetwork can be created in different availability zone. If it is one network, you cannot create. If it is availability zone east, so east only. So that is the reason we dividing. Now we will divide like this. Each subnet we will try to keep in different availability zone, so that we can utilize Amazon's features at most. Fine, very good. So this is done. So we have done till this yesterday. So we created VPC, we created subnets, 4 subnets. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2 public, 2 private. How to calculate these subnets? Again, I told simple maths calculation. How many subnet you want to create? 4. So 2 to the power 2 means 4. That means 2 bits you will plus, add it here. 24 was already there, so you will add 2 bit, 26. So your Subnet CIDR calculation is this. Subnet range is this. So now what you have to do, the link which I have given you here you will come and give IP. See here, this is the IP. Paste and 2426, and you click on calculate. So once you click on calculate, you will see here 4 networks are created. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. So now we will use this 4 network 1, 2, 3, 4 to create our subnet which we created. Different availability zone you have to use. Different availability zone. So now once that is done, I created a route table also yesterday in front of you. So one route table will be default coming. Whenever you create VPC, one default route table will be coming. That route table you will need to associate 2 subnets, okay, which we associated. Now there is a private route table where we have associated 2 subnets which are private. This is what we have done till date. Okay. Now yesterday we created an internet gateway also. Okay. I told you that, okay, fine. This is my VPC. The name itself is saying it is a private network. Correct? It is a private network. Now you have your home, private home. So now if suppose somebody wants to come to your home, you have to give them a main gate, right? Main gate will be there from where people will come inside and people will go. It's a two-way main gate, correct? Outside people can go and come and inside. Okay, so this thing, it is like main gate. That is called internet gateway. That internet gateway is a flyover, okay, for the internet people so that they can go and come, go and come. If your internet wants to connect to your devices, you need internet gateway. Clear? Simple. Now you will be creating internet gateway, and then once you create it, you need to attach it to VPC, the one which you created. Now once you attach, this will be shown attached, not in detached mode. Now you go to route table, go to public, go to routes, and give here this entry. Okay. The requirement was to have 200 IPs, but you divided the network into 4 parts with 64 IPs. So each subnet is still less than 200. That is very good question. So now he is saying we have divided into 4 network, means 64, 64, 64. So here also you will have that, right? So on-premise is also a network, correct? On-premise is also a network. Here also you will have like that network division, 400 IP, 200 IPs, 64, 64, 64. Maybe this is there, here there is, okay, here there is no availability zone, means no different location, but still you will have to divide here also. Some should be private network, some should be public network, some should be private network. Okay, so we are not discussing about this, but then we are focusing on here. But same kind of an architecture we will do. We will think a scenario that this is an ideal scenario where this we are trying to replicate. Here only one thing which we are doing extra is we are trying to migrate to different availability zone, which on-premise didn't give us. Okay, fine. So now there will be some technical words which some of you are freshers who will not understand. Those who are not aware of. So this full network, full home divided into 4. IGW is internet gateway. It's like main gate for your home, from where people can go outside, people can come inside, outside people, and they will come to drawing room. But then they will not go to your bedroom, because bedroom only you are allowed. So we need to, this IGW, here we need to have a route table. Route table means this is like watchman. Okay, this is going to, this will be attached to the sub network. Okay, public route table, private route table, public route table with public subnet, private route table with private subnet. Okay, which we have done. Okay, fine. So today, as I told you, okay, private, public, though we understood that this IGW will be attached. This IGW will be attached to this route table, and for that reason, this route table, which is like a watchman, which will allow outside traffic inside and inside traffic outside. This will allow that. Hence, outside and inside, both egress and ingress, both are possible. Now let us come here. Now we will try to create server here. Here I am saying that only outside
traffic is possible. Inside is not possible. This is not possible. This is not possible. Now, how to achieve that? So we need to use something called natting. Okay, something called NAT. We need to use something called NAT. So this NAT, what it will do? NAT also we will create in two servers. Okay, two subnets. Why? Because if one subnet or one availability zone is down, what will happen? Everything will be down. So we'll create two NATs in two public subnet for same high availability. What is the purpose of NATing? What is the purpose of NATing? So there are two private subnet. Okay, and in that two servers are there. These are DB servers. DB means database. Okay, MySQL database. Think like that. MySQL database. And now your application wants to connect to this database. So I will try to have two databases in two different availability zones. Okay, something we have done. Or maybe not MySQL. We will try to use Oracle. Maybe Oracle DB. All of you know what is Oracle. Oracle is super giant in database technology and other technologies also, but Oracle is mainly famous for database. So suppose Oracle database you are using, you are in this is called cluster of databases. This is called RAC, okay, real application cluster. Suppose we are in this particular cluster where we have two databases in two different availability zone in private subnet. Now this database needs to apply patch. I have to apply a patch in the database. There is some security patches which need to be applied. How we will apply patch? Patch is like some upgrade we have to do. Okay, like Windows update patches are coming every month. Similarly, here we are getting patch. And we need to apply patch. So if we need to apply patch, you need to connect to internet and download the patch, right? Why internet? Because Oracle database, Oracle website is here. From Oracle network, you will go and connect to Oracle network and then you will download the patch. This is Oracle ka network. Oracle will keep the patch here. Oracle patch will be there in Oracle network. Now this server need to connect to here. So they see outside is possible. But then there is a hacker. Will you allow hacker? Okay, boss, go and hack my database. No, right? Because this is private, will not allow. Okay, private. We are keeping database and important things here. So all these are not allowed. So that can be done using NATing. That we need to keep NAT gateway. This is called again a gateway. It's a like one-way flyover, which is allowing network or traffic to go outside, but then will not allow traffic to come inside. This NAT gateway we need to attach to private route table. Private route table. Okay, private route. This is private route table. RT. Okay, this is RT. This is public route table. This is private. So here we need to create a NAT gateway and then we will attach to private route table so that my internal servers will get internet and they can connect to internet. Means I am in my home, I am keeping some amount here in my wardrobe. So can I go outside? Yes. But will I allow other people to inside? No. Right? So I can go outside. So this is what we can achieve. So let's go here and there is something called NAT gateway here. You see, you can create a NAT gateway. Click on NAT gateway. This is chargeable again. So you have, when you create, you should know that 15 rupees will be charged. And once you create and done a testing, you should delete it. Okay. Every hour, 15 to 18 rupees it will be charged. So create a NAT gateway. Name it NAT. And which subnet I should select? I should not select public subnet. Private subnet. I should select public subnet. So NAT gateway will be usually it will be in public subnet. Okay, public only. Tell me why NAT gateway will be in public in this architecture. Why we will be selecting public only. But then not to allow though we can actually keep it in private. But then why here? Because this server requires internet below servers to apply patch. Correct. So now if below servers require internet, so definitely I have to provide internet to this. I have to attach a broadband service here. No. So how will I attach a broadband service? Through NAT gateway. How NAT gateway will get internet? Through IGW. So this internet gateway is attached to route table, which is public route. And now we will create our NAT gateway also in public route. And then that will be attached to our private route table. See, I will now add one color so that you can understand. So this one, and then this. okay, and then this. So this is the flow. IGW will give internet to route-table, route-table will give internet to subnets, and now in this subnet, whatever servers you will create, like NAT and all, that will get internet. And this NAT gateway is like a software thing, think like that. That is not only allowing outside, but blocking the inside thing. Okay, and we are attaching it to route-table. And we are saying, once we create it, let's create first. See here, private is there, public is there. We should select which one? Public. So for now, create one only because it is a chargeable thing. And here you select, see, connectivity type, public, private. We should select public. When we should select private, when we want to connect to another VPC, which is another network, which is also a private network. Allocate elastic IP. You can click on this. Why NAT requires an elastic IP? Elastic IP means static IP. So NAT is a device which requires a static IP. So that is why we are clicking on this. Static IP means this server will have one IP which is static since its birth. Whenever we created this NAT gateway, this will have one static IP. That static IP, this IP need to be purchased by Amazon. Okay, so Amazon will charge you. If you are using it, Amazon will also charge you because IPs are limited. As I told you, IPs are limited. So if IPs are limited, you cannot give and distribute IPs for free. So Amazon need to purchase IP from somewhere. And then when you are using that IP, and static means not dynamic, okay, static IP, you have to pay for it. So click on this and create NAT gateway. Done. Click on NAT gateway. This is created. Okay. Once this is created, what we will do, we'll try to see elastic IP created or not. You will see one elastic IP. This will have one public IP. So can NAT gateway, so NAT gateway is having public IP. Do you think it will not have private IP? Any device here will be created, will have both. Okay. Any device which will be created in VPC will have at least private IP. Public IP is optional if you want to access it from outside. But private IP will be there for sure. So this is NAT. What we will do, we will go to route-table, private, route. Okay, route-table, private. See here in public, we have added one rule. So private also we will have to add rule. Edit route, add, and here you give internet. Internet means this, and that internet should be coming from NAT gateway and save. So you attach a NAT gateway. Done. So this NAT gateway which you have attached is having this rule, which is NAT gateway, and subnet association is with private subnets. So that is it, done. Your task, your VPC is created with 4 subnets, with 2 route table, with 1 internet gateway attached to it, and 1 NAT gateway. Now this route table or this subnets, you can do something here. Okay, like whenever this public subnet, if somebody is creating a server in public subnet, you will assign. So whenever you click here, yes, NAT gateway to the route table, we have done, right? After this, you can do things along with me. For VPC, at least only, you should be seeing my screen only. See my screen only and do do after my class better. So that now you will understand each and everything. Fine. So what we have to do next is click on public subnet, go here, modify auto assign IP, click on this, come here, come modify auto assign IP. What do you mean by this? This means that if any server you are creating here, any server, this server will have both public IP and private IP. By default, you will get public IP. Default, whenever you create a server here, it will have public IP or enable auto assign public IP. No, this is not chargeable because this is dynamic IP. So Amazon will attach one IP to you, but then whenever you do restart it, that will be changed. This is not chargeable. Here only one thing is chargeable, which is NAT and elastic IP. So now we created it. In 1 hour only we will delete. So sometimes will not be charged for this. Okay, if you delete within 1 hour. So what we will do, let's do our testing. Okay, because this is created. Let's create a server here in xyz.com. See, this is my VPC. I will create a server here. How to create a server? We'll go to this service, which is compute service. We'll come here. In this compute service, I will create one server. I will launch. Okay, so what are we trying to achieve? We have one server here. Here, suppose one index.html is running. We will run that same thing here. Okay. Now we'll run the same thing here. So we will launch a server which is Red Hat server. Red Hat is an operating system. Okay, so launching a server means launching a computer. Whenever you go and buy a laptop, you should say them, okay, I need this operating system. Similarly, here you will buy and you will say, I need Red Hat operating system. You can also take Windows operating system, but no, we will be working on Red Hat and Ubuntu, Linux only. Click on this T2 micro, means how much CPU I require, how much memory I require, means RAM. Okay, this is only free tier, do not select anything else. I am going little fast here because our EC2 section we will describe once again. This is just for testing purpose. Okay, if it is getting created or not. So I will connect. Now you don't have to do this, okay, just for understanding. I will select one server I have to create. Go and select here this particular server xyz.com. This VPC you have to select. Select public subnet. Okay, I will select public subnet. Tell me here and see there are two public subnet. One is having 59, another is having 58. Why there is one less IP in public subnet one? Why do you think that one subnet, one IP is less? NAT Gateway got one IP. Very good. So we will select this subnet, public subnet 2, fine. And see here, use subnet setting enable. This will be by default. Later we will see all this section, how to add user data and later. Select this storage 10 GB, do not select more, 30 GB is only free. Okay, add tags, for now we will not do anything. Okay, here I will explain you what is this. Okay, this is like a security group. I will add one security group, like firewall setting. So I'm opening some network port. Okay, some port I am opening where my application will be running. So I will give like this by default, launch, and I will give one key and I'll launch. I will explain this one more time. You don't have to do this when you perform this project. View instances. Instances here, I will type xyz.com. So let it start. Okay, let it start. So our main motive here from this project, okay, was to understand VPC and was to understand public IP, private IP, regions, availability is one. But then we have given this name, migration of a web application. Okay, why? Because with this you will all understand why are we studying all these things. See, our motto, our company's motto is very simple. I'll tell you, when I was taking generally coaching or any training, nobody will explain us projects. And if you don't know projects, how will you be able to correlate things, and whatever you are working, whatever you are doing, how will you relate things? And how will you build your own story when you go and apply for new job, or when you switch your job, or when you switch your role to your existing company? Okay, so whatever you do, you need to have a story. You need to believe yourself firmly that, okay, yes, you have worked on project. For that reason, we have started our company where we are just focusing that very simple rule that we will be explaining the project explanation first diagrammatically. Then we will do that thing. I will understand small basic building blocks for that project. We'll complete that exercise by understanding things, and then finally we'll implement. So this is what we are trying to achieve here. So from here, our main motive was to explain you VPC. And then I am explaining this server, okay, which you don't have to do now because here we need to understand a lot of things. This is very fast, which I created. Now I'll just log into this server. I'll show you how can you log into this server like I am doing. This is my server which is in Mumbai, just now, which we have created. This server is created where? In the VPC, here in this xyz.com VPC. See, it is having public IP, private IP, both. It is not having DNS name. Private DNS is there, public DNS is not there. We need to see how can we give a DNS name to a server. That also we need to check. Now we need to run an application here. So I will install, suppose, Apache. This I'm just doing very fast. Okay, I'm again saying you don't have to do it. I'm just trying to see if things are working on it. A sanity. Okay, let it start. So it is downloading few softwares from internet. That means it is having internet. I will start the service. I'll get the public IP. I'll copy this public IP. I'll hit it in browser. So this is opening. This is opening. This browser is opening. Now it is saying go to this directory, create a file. So I'm mentioning this welcome to class. And now if I refresh it, same thing, whatever I am writing here, it is displayed. So with this, we understood that, okay, whatever I will type here, it will come here. Now, if there is, suppose this website, Mentimeter, suppose if I take the source thing, and if I copy here the code, and now if I refresh, you will find that I am getting, my website is also same like Mentimeter. This is my website running in this server, where is this server, which we created just now. And see, so quickly we have launched a server also. So quickly we have running instance as well. So, and this is the UI part, which is coming, only the UI, but not the backend. We'll have to see how to have backend and all. So similarly, this our website is also like this, the one which is running now. This is our website. It is also hosted here in Amazon, in our account. This kind of website we have built. Similarly, you can actually also build some websites. In your company, you will have flipkart.com. Maybe this is the company you are working for. This is also running in one of the server like this. And from there, this page is coming. This part is called UI, user interface, the one which you can see. But when you click here, something is happening at the back end. These offers are coming. That is your back end. If you buy something, if I suppose if you log in, the login part whenever you do, that is also coming from your backend. That verification with your username, password. So this is what I wanted to explain. That there is something UI, there is something server, there is something called network. Just to give you that warm-up session, okay? That okay, yes, this is what we are going to learn. This is how we are going to do step by step. We are going to create server. Now we will terminate this server, okay? Not required testing is done. Terminate. Once terminated, you'll have to go to VPC. Do not forget to delete this, otherwise it will be charging you. How will delete this NAT gateway? Do not forget to delete NAT gateway. How to delete? Come here to NAT and just delete it. Delete. Delete the elastic IP also. First NAT gateway you have to delete, and then later go to elastic IP and you have to release. There is this release button will be enabled. Once you do these two things, you will not be charged. Rest all things you can keep, no problem. Okay, these all things you can keep if you want, but then delete elastic and NAT gateway. Okay.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.